Hey guys, for my Looks Like Skin foundation routine, I start off with my Wet n Wild Primer Face Serum. This is hydrating and it's an amazing base before we start our foundation routine. Next, I'm going to move into my Benefit the Professional. I do have oily skin in my T-zone, so I pat this in my T-zone area, and it's just going to help to blur out my canvas. I'm going to move into my NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation in Patagonia. It's my favorite go-to. And I'm going to apply this with my BH Cosmetics Foundation brush. I like to grab my foundation buff brush to buff my foundation into place. This helps to make your foundation look like butter, and the goal is for your foundation to look like skin, and this definitely helps. I actually like to take it a step further and use my beauty blender to help to further buff the foundation into place. I'm going to grab my e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in medium beige. It's my favorite dupe for Shape Tape, and it helps to use this to highlight under the eyes. I like to do a dot on my chin, a dot on my nose, and down the center of my nose, and of course the center of my forehead. And then to blend this, I'm going to use my beauty blender to buff it right into place. The goal is for this all to look seamless, and for your foundation not to sit on top of your skin, but to blend in. So to add some color, I like to use contour creams, and my favorite is by Graftobian. It is a pro brand, as you see it with the palette, and I apply it with a concealer brush. I'm using the Warm 2 palette. And of course, whenever we apply a cream, we need to what? Buff it into place. And I like to buff this into place. Alright, so I grab my airspun Naturally Neutral, and this I'm just going to press right into the areas that I highlighted. So underneath the eyes, down the bridge of my nose, center of my forehead, and my chin. And then I grab my Morphe Bronzer in front of me, and the matte bronzer side, I'm just going to set the contour. And I'm using a Sonia Kashuk contour brush, one of her amazing palettes. I grabbed my Ben Nye Media Pro Powder palette, and this is the Mojave palette. And I'm going to grab one of these colors here. It's one of the medium brown colors, just to add a little bit more dimension and to reinforce the contour. So I like to grab my MAC Studio Fix in NC40, and this I like to use my foundation buff brush to further just add more of a gradient effect. So I like to go underneath my contour, across the top of my forehead, right underneath my eyes, blend it down into my neck, basically anywhere that we've laid a cream that has not been set. So to add a little color to the cheeks, I'm using MAC Blush in Copper Tone. I love MAC blushes. It gives me the right amount of color. And I love this color. It's called Copper Tone. I apply it with a blush brush. Super simple. Remember, never apply it to the apples, ladies. I like to moisten my skin with the All-Nighter because I'm preparing to put my highlighter on. And I'm using Wet n Wild and Hello Halo. And I'm going to apply it with a Real Techniques highlighting brush. It's a brush I just recently got, which I'm in love with. Now, this is how I apply my highlighter. I apply it and then I blend it in with a beauty blender. I like to glow from the inside out as opposed to it sitting on top of the skin. And then to wrap it all up, I'm using Wet n Wild's Photo Focus. Bam, honey. Thanks for watching.